What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Triple H podcast, Happy Hour Hoops. Steve, Jake, and myself here to talk everything college basketball today. March has arrived, guys. The tournament is here. The bracket is here. It's more beautiful than ever. And we're going to try to pick another winner like we did last year with the Florida
Yes,
Gators.
sir.
If
Let's
you're
go, boys.
listening, try to keep up with the pick madness here. But if you're watching, we will be going through the bracket one game at a time, picking who we think is going to win. We're going to obviously pick a perfect bracket here today,
Obviously.
and come out with the national champion. So how we doing, guys? Are we ready for March?
I-
Happy
I'm
March,
re-
Coach JP.
Happy March, guys.
Happy
I'm
March.
ready. I'm excited for the tournament to be back in Buffalo. So I got boots on the ground for Thursday.
There
I'm
we go.
excited for that. And I think we got the right field. Every year, as you guys know, I try to predict the field of March Madness. And there were a couple seeds I was a little different on with the committee, but I had all 68 teams that the committee had. I think this is the first time in like 5 years where I really thought the committee put the most deserving teams in. Like I said, a couple of the seeds were a little different, and they gave us some really, really, really good matchups, guys, as well as some potential like incredible storylines down the road in a potential Sweet 16, Elite 8 matchup that I'm sure we will be getting to.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see what this bracket entails everywhere. It does feel like we talked about it a little bit last week. Like the story of the year has been that there's a separation with the top teams, but there's also been, I feel like, Steve, a consensus kind of brought up that the 2 and 3 seeds this year are better than last year's too. Like they're like that those teams a little more, probably because of the dearth of talent throughout this whole field and this draft class coming into it, and the young guys there and everything, but also the veterans who are back there on these teams too. So do you feel like, even though you were very steadfast in the top 4 seeds are, that they are the top 4 teams in the country and deserve to be there, do you think there is 2, 3, even 4 and 5 seeds that can push them more than last year?
Yeah, definitely. I think this, tournament or this season of college basketball has been in tiers, and I really do think that the 1 seeds are in a tier kind of above the rest of the pack. But you're right. There's a lot of two seeds. There's two seeds in particular I really like from the Big 12, Houston and Iowa State, that I think could beat anybody on any given night, as well as you just saw Purdue beat Michigan in the Big 10 championship, right? So you have a 2 seed there as well. UConn, no one's going to count out Dan Hurley. So there's your 4 2 seeds. They're great. And then if you look at the 3 seeds as well, these are teams with a lot of exciting players, right? A lot of quality wins, and just the gap between, I think, maybe even the 4. There's a couple 4 and 5 seeds I really like, and then the rest of the bubble is huge. So I do think that this is going to be the year that maybe we will see like a 4 or a 5 sneak into a potential Elite 8, or a 3 seed to a Final Four. But I would be really surprised, guys, if there's anything outside the top, 4 seeds, maybe even 1 5 seed here or there that gets to the Elite 8. I really do think it's going to be kind of chalky when we get to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. But that also makes for some great, great games when you get to the end of the tournament. So it could be a little chalky, but not necessarily in a bad way, because the top, 12 teams, top 14 teams in the country right now are just so much better than the rest of those bubble teams, the mid majors and everything else. But they call it March Madness for a reason, right? We could say all that, and then next thing you know, team goes crazy from 3. One kid we never heard of scores 40. Anything can really happen in these games, and that's why we love this
CJ
tournament.
Power.
It's a single exactly. It's a single elimination tournament, and that's why I love it so much. Because sometimes the better team doesn't advance. It's just the hot team, the team at the right time, the team that's just got the kid going nuclear. So very excited to see how this unfolds. But my thought kind of stays the same. I still think these 1 seeds are going to be really, really tough to take out.
All right, well, should we get into it, boys?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
We're right here. Should we start? I guess I tried to fix the screen so it would do one side of the bracket, It was not working though. So this is the best we get. Do we want to just go down the East and then go down the left
I
side?
think we just go region by region.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's start on the left side of the bracket, the East region. Duke, Siena. I think we're just gonna go with Duke here. No Siena, 16-1.
Shout out Jerry
Not
McNamara
about
though. He's got those Siena boys playing well right now. So, but yeah, Duke will take them out.
We'll give them that. Steve, I'm really interested to hear what you think about TCU and Ohio State, because you talked up TCU a bit last week, and that you're not the only one who's been. We know that they can punch above their weight a little bit here at where the seed line they're at, but even the odds here, 63% to Ohio State winning this matchup. So I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are and why that is such a discrepancy. Do you think the Buckeyes are that much better of a team than TCU? Is this more of a toss-up? I mean, the spread says otherwise too. It's only +2.5, so they're basically calling it anybody's game there.
It's funny because I think this is one of the first games to tip, and this could ultimately cause about half the world to lose their perfect bracket right after the first game. I really genuinely think this is a toss-up. TCU has shown they can beat anybody this year. They beat Florida. They beat Iowa State. They beat a Texas Tech when they had JT Toppin, I'm pretty sure. But they've also lost to a team like New Orleans. They've lost to a team like Notre Dame. So you really don't know what you're going to get with TCU. Ohio State, about 3 weeks ago, was on the outside looking into this tournament, and then they just turned it up another notch. Bruce Thornton has been one of the best players in the country probably this past month. He's kind of willed Ohio State to some big wins. I believe they beat Purdue. I believe they beat Wisconsin. There was a couple other big wins they had down the stretch, and it really got them from a bubble, potentially like they didn't have a quad one win until like 2 weeks left in the year, to, they're an 8 seed now. Like they're comfortably in. And that shows A, how weak this bubble was, but B, how well Ohio State's been playing. And so right now, I think Ohio State's playing better basketball, and I think they have the best player on the floor with Thornton, which is what leans me to pick them. But if you're talking about a brutal 8-9 matchup to predict, and also a brutal team for Duke to potentially play in the second round, TCU, man, they beat Florida. They're a 1 seed. They beat Iowa State. Iowa State's a 2 seed. So TCU is very, very dangerous. They play team basketball. They're a deep team. They're a balanced team. And Ohio State's got probably the best player on the floor in this game. So either matchup is going to be a tough one, I think, for Duke. I think this is by far the best 8-9 matchup we have. I'm leaning Ohio State right now, but I'm not. I'm going to go back and forth on this game over the next about 48 hours.
Dunny, do you have any lean any which way?
I like the Horned Frogs here, man.
Oh no.
I don't know why.
That's fine with me.
I like the TCU swagger. I think, like Steve said, they've had some good wins under their belt. Obviously, they could also lose to anyone, right? That's kind of what you get with some of these middle tier seeds in the tournament, and that's we talked about at the top. That's why it makes it so good. But I don't know, something about that purple and white. I kind of see them advancing in this matchup. It's more of a gut thing. I've watched TCU a couple times this year. Enjoyed watching the way their team plays. That's where I'm at, Jake. So you might have to be a tiebreaker here.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards
TCU. I really am. I'm not like just bent on Ohio State here.
Well, I was gonna pick Ohio State. So now, what do you want to do here, Steve?
Well, I'm saying like Dunny. I'm with Dunny.
I'm with you on a toss up here. I really don't know which way to go with this game. This one, like that's a conundrum they give you right when you start the bracket with this game. Like I think +2.5. Let's go for the vibes then. Let's go for TCU. They're like the better vibes would be TCU. So we'll roll with an upset to start and go from there. We're the thing about this too, if we're thinking about actually, delivering on our promise of repeating again, we got to think that's a low risk. We're picking Duke no matter what. So it's a low risk move anyways. Like we can take a little swing there, see what happens. St. John's, Northern Iowa. Did you think this was I know I had your bracket seed predictions. Where did you have St. St. John's, and did they line up with where you were predicting them to fall at the 5 seed there?
I had St. John's as a 4. I
Okay.
had St. John's as a 4. I thought they deserved to be a 4. I think the biggest reason they got a 5 was how weak the Big East was this year, right? The Big East got 3 teams into the tournament: UConn, St. John's, Villanova. Villanova really doesn't have any quality wins outside of conference. UConn and St. John have a few, but St. John's, they're damaged. The reason they have their resumes, they beat UConn twice, 2 out of 3 times. I think St. John's is a very good team. They've won 19 of 20. Even their losses were close losses to some really good teams at the start of the year out of conference. But I think the reason they got a 5 was because of how weak the Big East was this year and just how poor the Big East kind of played. I like St. John's pretty comfortably in this game against Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa is a slow kind of defensive team. They want to grind you, and that plays right into St. John's and Rick Pitino's hands. I think St. John's, this is a game where they could win like 75-40. It just feels like if you want to try to beat St. John's, you're not going to try to do it playing their style of basketball. So I really like St. John's here. And I do think a little bit, Jake, they were underseeded. I know there were some people saying they could have been a 3. I didn't really see them on the 3 line because of how weak the Big East was, but I definitely thought they were better than a 5.
Yeah, I feel like they've guaranteed, well, it depends. We'll talk about it and Dunny, do you feel any differently about St. John's? Do you feel like 12-5? Everybody loves a 12-5 upset, so maybe you're feeling spicy about Northern Iowa here.
No, yeah, everyone loves a good 12-5 as much as myself too. But looking at the bracket this morning, there's actually not too many of the 12-5s that I feel comfortable taking in 12, and certainly not with the Johnnies. I like St. John's here. Gotta go Patino, and it might have been something I got caught up a little bit too much in last year, but I think they have a better team this year, and no reason to think that they can't make it out of the first round here.
64.4% of the last meetings, so that's been pretty. That's pretty good.
Though.
Yeah, no.
12, that's not high. That's a lot of upsets.
Yeah. And I think it said one we just had it up. It was like one in the last, at least one has defeated in 34 of the last 40 tournaments. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I'm also going to lean St. John's here. We'll move them on. They're wanting us to do this Duke versus St. John's or Kansas. Beautiful Sweet 16 matchup.
They made this the blue blood region, man. Yeah. They really did.
And so Kansas and California Baptist here. Steve.
So Cal Baptist, I'm sure not a lot of people were watching this, but in the Western Athletic Championship, they were down about 8 points with about 40 seconds to go to Utah Valley and just roared back, just shooting threes. They got Dominique Daniels, who's an absolute bucket, and they can score. And I'm excited to see Daniels try to, carry this team and put up, 30, maybe 40 points to keep them in the game. And it might keep it close. Kansas just has too much talent. I've seen some people pick Cal Baptist. I think mainly because of Kansas's inconsistency this year, and the everything out there on is Darren Peterson going to be locked in for the whole game? What do we expect from him? But even if you don't get a 100% Darren Peterson, this Kansas team I think is still better. But I also am in the camp where I think Darren Peterson will lock in for the tournament, or at least maybe that's me hoping a little bit. I'll take Kansas comfortably over Cal Baptist. Although Dominique Daniels, guys, he could score 30 plus. It'll be, I think, a fun game to watch. Dunny, you're muted.
Mute monster. I'm with you. I think we need to take Kansas here, but and I was gonna ask, are we sure Peterson's gonna play? I'm sure he's gonna play, but is it gonna be the weird stuff that we saw this season, and is it gonna be like the second half of the BYU game where he's there, but he's on the bench and he's not coming back in? First round, they probably don't have to worry about this, but if they're in a spot where he's playing this game, and anything can happen in this tournament, we all know that, and the ball starts bouncing the wrong way for Kansas, and he's sitting on the bench and not getting up and not coming in. There is that factor here for sure, and I don't think that can be ignored, especially moving on to the round after this. But I think you have to take Kansas here, just in the event that Peterson does play the full game. I feel pretty comfortable there.
Yeah, it would it would be nuts, guys, if he doesn't come out. It's like a 6 point game against Cal Baptist or at something with like 8 minutes left. And he's like, nah, guys, I'm good. I'm sorry. Sitting this one out the rest of it would make some headlines, that's for sure. And it really does call into question like what is the motives of all this?
Right.
Because if it's really like, hey, I'm only playing X amount of minutes and they haven't agreed on it all year, then it could come push comes to shove. Or if he's like, I'm gonna get like it's the tournament, like let me try to go make a name for myself, go, you know, he can make up for the whole year of weirdness if he just goes on an insane run and brings this team to the Final Four. So I can't pick against Kansas here. I think they'll get a win. Anything else there on this game?
Nope.
On these games? All right, Steve. These next two you'll be in session for. Louisville and South Florida, the hometown kid Brian Hodgson coaching South Florida there gets to play against Louisville. It is a 4.5 point spread, 6-11. I mean, I feel like this one really can go either way here. Where are you leaning?
It comes down if Mikel Brown can play or not. If he's going to play
Yeah.
for Louisville, they're such a different team. They're such a better team. He makes the players around him better, and he's a guy who could just take over a game in his own right. Still don't know if he's going to play. I don't even know if we'll hear it until after all the brackets are submitted at this point. It could just be a game time decision. He's really the X factor, but regardless, love this South Florida team. They're a team that passes the eye test. They play fast, but they also can play pretty good defense. They're a big team. They're a balanced team. They're a deep team. And they're a team I think that can give Louisville fits, because the biggest weakness of Louisville can be that they really just don't have a lot of interior presence. And with no Mikel Brown, I think can smell a little bit of an upset. And hey, if I'm there at a 1:30 tip on a Thursday afternoon, I'm taking off work for it. I'm rooting for the double-digit seed to move on. So I'm taking South Florida. It feels like a trendy upset pick right now, which is always terrifying because those never seem to work out. But I just got to go with what my eyes have told me, and I've been really impressed with this South Florida team this year. I think they're one of the better mid majors and double-digit seeds in this tournament.
Dunny.
I'm in lockstep, man.
All right, let's do it.
I filled out one of my first brackets this morning. I took South Florida here.
Now I'll tell you, if Mikel Brown is announced that he's playing, then I'm gonna have to think about it again. But yeah, I'm with you.
It's not the end all be all, but the 11 BPI for Louisville does kind of pop off the page when you're a more casual viewer, as myself. I'm like, dang. I mean, they've clearly been it's obviously a stronger conference. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, this would have been a Big East matchup, not a classic Big East matchup, but I think in 2007, a big football game, USF, Louisville. So it is funny to see these two teams put together, and good for Hodgson to be back home. And I know his dad's going to be able to go see him coach for the first time. So that's going to be a great story for the early matchup. And it's going to be a great game. Guys, for some reason, this is one that I've been just toying around with just for fun. Just for fun. Wouldn't it be fun if North Dakota State just smoked Michigan State? I don't even mean smoked, but I don't know if we're going to get one of these big upsets this year. This is just purely off my vibes and quick check, Steve. That's the one I've been going with if I'm going to do a big crazy upset. Is that fair?
I'm gonna be honest.
This isn't the one.
Nowhere near an upset here. I think Michigan State rolls here. Damn. I really, really like this Michigan State team. I think they're better than the Michigan State team last year. They have a little bit of the same issues. They can go on cold shooting spells and a little inconsistent from outside. But Jeremy Fears is an incredible point guard. You've got Cooper and Kohler down low. And North Dakota State, they're an all right team. They're a balanced team, but they don't really have a giant threat offensively, in my opinion, that can just take over this game. So I like Sparty, and Izzo to advance. I mean, it's March after all. You think he's getting bounced in the first round? I don't.
That's fair.
I can't see Izzo getting bounced in the first round either. I'm cool with with going MSU here,
All right,
but
let's do it.
I do like where your heart's at, Jake.
I'm not even married to it. I'm just trying to, somewhere in there, we got to
You
just
gotta
gauge.
find him
Yeah, we got to
somewhere,
find
man.
one. The buys, North Dakota State, just good vibes there. That'll be a fun Saturday matchup, though. Michigan State, South Florida, uh, in Buffalo. So looking forward to that. Finishing out the region, UCLA, UCF. Steve, where's your head at here? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
UCLA, they're not great when they're traveling this far. They're dealing with injuries to their two best players, and I don't even know if Donovan Dent's going to play. He was the point guard at New Mexico the past couple of seasons.
Mhm.
Love him, one of my favorite players, but I don't know if he's going to play. And I think this UCF team is getting overlooked. I like this UCF team. I think they beat UCLA here. I don't 10-7 is technically an upset, but it's not crazy upset. But I do like UCF to win this game in advance. I think a lot of people are on UCLA, and I'm zagging. When they're zigging, I'm zagging on this one. So I'll take UCF.
Dunny?
Wow. I didn't really have a strong opinion on this one, Jake. What say you?
I kind of I liked it for the first thing that Steve said. That's why I was leaning UCF, is the west to east and UCLA on the road this year, and just a lot of their games in the Big Ten. It's been a struggle for them. So I think could be another struggle. They do get the extra day until Friday, which maybe helps them out a little bit. But I think 7-10 spot here. It hasn't been an impressive UCLA team. I think it's a chance. Let's go with UCF. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
The Huskies, we got UConn going over Furman here, right, Steve?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't love this UConn team this year, but Furman, I don't think
they-
Furman's very good.
Dan Hurley's
What were
not
they?
gonna
They
let
were
that
like the
happen.
6th seed, right? In the
They were.
the
They
Southern
did,
Conference, so they had a nice little run, but yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No offense, Furman. Well, I guess this is all offense. You can't really say that, but
I would love to pick them, and I was looking. I was
yeah,
trying to find
10-8 in
team I love.
conference. I mean, that's pretty
pretty
crazy
tough.
to be in the tournament. But shout out to them, good for them, and not even on the 16 line. They get the 15 seed. They get UConn. But we'll move on. Let's go back top of the region here, the Sweet 16. Duke, TCU. Is there? I mean, this is the reason we got TCU here, because they can swing big and play with these teams. But Duke, it's a tough ask.
I mean, the injury to Foster makes it a
It's
little
true.
more interesting. But I still like Duke here. I think I don't know. I think TCU is a good team, and I know they've beaten some great teams, but Duke is just, man, Duke just looks so dominant. Even without Foster, I don't think Duke's getting bounced before at least the Sweet 16.
Dunny.
It's hard for me to talk myself out of these one seeds losing early. I'll be honest with you.
Dunny's Dunny's really feeling the TCU vibes, I feel like.
I am, but not that much. And I selfishly, not like a huge Duke guy or anything, but I do.
Neither am I.
I would like to see Cameron Boozer as much as possible in this tournament. He's one of those guys who, when you turn on college ball, you got to be locked in on Boozer. So you got to go Duke here.
I saw a graphic of if everyone had to stay 4 years, Duke would have still had McCain, Knepel, Flag, Derek Lively, Malawak. I was like, oh my God, this team would have been ridiculous.
That's insane. That's absurd. Just, yeah.
They would have been
just keep it rolling
sophomores.
over. Cooper Flag was supposed to be a freshman this year.
I know, dude. Isn't that insane?
Oh, crazy. KU St. John's, which could be the highlight of the round of 32 if it were to come to fruition. I'm
taking St. John's here. I am.
Okay.
I trust their style of basketball a little bit more than Kansas. I trust their consistency. Kansas has been so up and down this year. And like you said, you don't know what you're going to get out of Darren Peterson. I really like St. John's outside of the game where they couldn't score a basket in the final 17 minutes of the second half against UConn. This team has shown that they really don't have any holes. And I know the Big East is weak this year, but I like the St. John's team. I think their offense is a lot better than last year. When, if you remember, Dunny, I did not like St. John's last year coming into the
No, you did
tournament.
not.
Different tone this year. I'm gonna take St. John's over Kansas.
Yeah, see, I'm fine with this because it goes back to the Peterson thing, and
Hmm.
I hate to kind of kill the guy on this, but it's what he's shown us all year, and you would hope that if it was injury related, he was doing it to save himself for the tournament. Um, the player, the talent, it's obviously all there. No one's disputing that, but what he's shown from us about consistency of being available, and then the comments to go with it are just a little bizarre. And if you have a red hot Patino team going up against a team where their star player is wavering or not making himself available, I'm with it. I like to go St. John's here as well.
All right, we're all in lockstep. I
I'm a
think.
little scarred from last year, being as far in on him as I was, but I'm good. I'm good to go another round here with St.
I
John's.
think it's too. I think it's more likely that Kansas flames out in round two, in the round of 32 this year, with the way things have gone, than seeing them. That's a tough draw for them as a 5 in St.
Yeah.
John's. We're looking at the other side of the bracket in Wisconsin. Like I feel like Wisconsin not as strong of a 5 in my because I just feel like the Johnnies we were talking about earlier. Like were they underseeded? Were they not? Wisconsin feels like they're in a good spot. Like that's a tough draw for Kansas. They've been such a weird team all year. Do you think, Steve? Do you think Kansas is overseeded a little bit? Even
No,
you had them as a 5 here. I have your thing pulled up
yeah.
now, but that'd mean 5 and 4. Not much of a difference there.
No, and I think Kansas's resume deserved, I had them as a 5, but I'm not mad at them being a 4. I think their resume is more than well deserving. They've had some huge wins, right? They were one of the few teams to beat Arizona this year. They have the talent. There's no denying the talent. They're also a very good defensive team this year, which helps their cause too. And obviously, Darren Peterson, when he's a full go, he's one of the best players in the country. So I don't think Kansas was overseeded by any means. I mean, I had them as a 5, but I'm not mad that they're a 4.
All right, well then we got one Sweet 16 matchup set up over there. South Florida, Michigan State. You guys were all aboard Michigan State, which is fair. It is March's, Izzo, and all that fun stuff. But just keep them rolling into the Sweet 16. Any chance to get South Florida?
Yeah, very good chance. I think South Florida is one of the most balanced teams of these double-digit seeds or these mid-majors. They're a deep team. They play fast, but they play great defense. They shoot the ball well. I mean, they could beat anybody and give anyone a game. I think South Florida gave Bama a game earlier this year too, right down to the wire. I'm still taking Michigan State here, but I've seen a lot of people pick South Florida to the Sweet 16, and I'm not entirely against it. They are a very good team that I think is, better than their seed. Obviously, because of their conference, they have the 11 seed. But this is a dangerous team. It's a very dangerous team.
What do you think, Dunny?
I think we gotta go Michigan State here.
I agree.
Okay.
But I do for all the reasons Steve just said. We like South Florida with the upset in the first round, and then I think it's a competitive game. But I like Michigan State.
I will be betting whatever that spread is if that's the game. I think it'll be a close game. Feels like Michigan State loves to play just games that are way too close and at all times throughout all of the time I've known Tom Izzo.
Yeah,
and they usually pull them out.
That's fair. That is fair.
We got UCF, UConn, old civil conflict trophy. They should bring it.
Yeah, you're right.
Bring it up. Get it back wherever it is. I know they did a story where that is. Dunny, you know about civil conflict?
I think I'm familiar. I think part of my take talks about this from time to time.
I'm sure that they do. Yeah, they tried to start a rivalry. I can't remember which school tried to. I think UConn is the one who wanted to start it. Made a trophy
they created their own trophy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So here we're back, back again, illustrious. UConn, UCF. I'm hard pressed to pick against UConn making it to the Sweet 16. I don't know about you guys.
I'm more leaning towards picking UCF as an upset. I
Ooh.
really don't
Oh,
trust this UConn team. I don't really like them that much. Like I watch them and they just don't pass the eye test for me. UCF, similar to TCU, they've shown they can beat anybody. I think they beat Texas Tech, BYU, was it Iowa State, or I can't remember the other big win they had, but it's another team. They could score well. They're a deep team. Defense concerns me. UCF might just let someone score 90 on them. But I do like I do like this UCF team, and I'm also, this is more me just being anti UConn, and I just also to a gut thing here, and it could be UCF, it could be South Florida, it could be one of the other double seeds. Everyone's talking about these blue bloods here and these potential matchups we're going to get and what a Sweet 16 we could have, right? Everyone was talking second round, UCLA, UConn. Look at those two coaches going up together. There's got to be one where one of these teams falls short, whether it's St. John's, whether it's Kansas, whether it's UConn, whether it's Michigan State. There's just too many blue bloods that everyone wants in this region. So UCF is my kind of like little bit upset here, but it's probably UConn. It's probably UConn. You got to have fun though. You got to pick some upsets. You can't just go all chalk.
listen. You were on. You had this. I feel like this is the same thing as St. John's last year, where they didn't pass the eye test for you. Another team that lost early, which is what just popped up.
Yeah.
Is our little fun fact.
Yeah.
One of those 2 wins by 10 seeds in the span came last year.
Arkansas versus St. John's. We called that in the happy hour hoops bracket. As much as Dunny was throwing a fit, we called it.
Oh, I remember.
So Dunny, should we ride with the Golden Knights here?
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's have some fun. In this
Let's see what
bracket.
happens.
As long as we get the Final Four right, we can have fun in these early rounds.
Well, getting the Duke and St. John's would be a appointment television in the East region.
Yeah, and living in New York, I wouldn't be able to bet on this. I'd have to make some phone calls. I think I'd have to make a couple phone calls for this one because this is a must-watch game. I've been back and forth on this. I think if there's any team that can disrupt Duke a little bit by the style they play and the coach they have at St. John's with Pitino, I just think the talent of Duke's going to prevail, and I think people underestimate how good Duke is defensively. I know then you forget to, obviously you lost Foster, but you also lost your big man for the conference tournament. He should be back. I would assume he will be back by at least the Sweet 16, if not earlier. So I'm going to take Duke here. I think St. John's can go through those little cold spells on offense where it's like, oh, what's going on? And I think Duke can take advantage of that. So I'll take Duke. But man, don't tempt me, boys. You might ask me about 2 hours later. I might be Johnny's to Elite Eight.
Yeah, no, I got Duke here too. I think, Steve, you mentioned it. I was waiting for it to come up. Like if St. John's even has close to a game like they had a couple of weeks ago, where they went like 18 minutes without scoring a point or something crazy like that. You just can't do that, especially against a team like Duke, who is huge. They have good defenders and they can score on their own as well. So I think I'll go Duke here again. Not the biggest Duke guy, but I've watched them probably more than any other college basketball team this year, and I think they have this one.
And Duke plays a very slow pace. Despite how good they are offensively, the points per game they average, I think they were like 300, like 20 of them, like tempo. Like this is a team that plays slow. This is a team that is fine playing at St. John's style, and I think that gives Duke the advantage there.
I'm with it. I mean, it would be very funny to see Duke lose early on, as it always can be in the way that they lose. But this team just feels so dominant in this region. I don't know. It doesn't, like with this game. How far are you willing to go with UCF, Steve? Are you willing to push them through, or are we going to have a Duke Michigan State Blue Blood Elite Eight game on a on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon that
I
people are
I,
locked in
I
for.
kind of want the Duke Michigan State rematch, because also Michigan State played really poorly in the first matchup this year and was in it the entire way. Izzo just knows how to play, those top teams and keep them in the game. They kind of did that against Michigan. Even though they lost both games, they've been in the game. Michigan State rarely gets blown out. And trust me, I like UCF. I think they're a fun upset pick that not a lot of people are looking at, because I think a lot of people are just taking UCLA over UCF. But I don't think I can go Elite Eight here. I think sometimes when you have such a big upset, let's say if they do beat UConn, it's tough to come back after that 4-day gap, right? 4 or 5 day gap, and then play another really good team in Michigan State. So I'm gonna go Sparty here. But hey, man, don't doubt the Knights. I know they've been struggling, lost 4 of their last 5, but this is a team that shows they can beat anybody.
Dunny, what are you thinking? It will still be March.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's
Game.
Yeah, let's send Michigan State along.
All right, let's do it.
Just for that matchup.
I like it. We got Duke. We got Michigan State.
Oh, what a matchup!
Elite Eight.
What an elite date this would be.
Look at this. Look at the picks. It's still overwhelmingly Duke.
Well, also
for total
too
picks
though,
from people.
and also too, and I know they implemented this last year. I'm tired of the autofill bracket on Tournament Challenge. If you can't be bothered to pick games, you shouldn't be able to submit a bracket. I'm tired of the autofill bracket, and I've seen so many people just putting the bracket into AI now. Are we serious? Like, what are we doing? The whole fun of this is to fill out a bracket. Yeah. What are we doing? So the autofill, get it out of here. That's why you're gonna see very rarely like upsets where the majority's on one side over the other. It shouldn't be this far where Duke's at 5.4, Michigan's at 863,000. Like they shouldn't be off by almost 5 million. But
no one's got any guts anymore, Steve.
Duke's a very good team. I have Michigan State personally, but I also hate Duke. like we got to take that into account. I do not like Duke. I do not want Duke to be happy. Duke fans to be happy. And Michigan State did play them tight early this year, despite not playing pretty well. Duke loses Foster. I'm sure. Other than that, they should be healthy. But Duke to the Final Four doesn't seem like the worst pick in the world either. They're the number 1 overall seed for a reason. They're top 5 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Like, yeah, they're good. They got the player of the year. They're good.
I don't hate sending Duke along here. I think that's the right pick.
Yeah, I think they got it. I think we got to do it. As much as I appreciate your spite and vitriol, Steve.
Of course,
fueling you in this moment. We'll send Duke along. I don't think I want them winning the national title, though. I definitely don't think that. Arizona, Long Island. Any hope for the Dolphins?
Fins down. Go Arizona. They're gonna win this game by about 60. They're gonna win this. Arizona's going to murder Long Island. I don't know what the spread of that game is.
Right there.
According to the DraftKings,
30.5. Yeah, they're going to win by 40 plus. Also, too, the highest spread ever where a team won, the underdog, I believe, was FDU when they beat Purdue. They were 23.5-point underdogs.
Wow.
So
good poll.
Keep that into account if you want to see maybe, a bigger upset than that. See what these spreads are. But Long Island, sorry.
See you later. Villanova, Utah State split right down the middle with the picks on here.
Yeah.
A lot of hype around the Aggies. They're favorites.
They're a better team. I think they're a better team. I'm terrified of picking Mountain West teams. They always seem to disappoint come tournament time. And the Mountain West was bad this year. One bid conference, guys. One bid conference for the Mountain West. Boise State, San Diego State, and New Mexico just couldn't help themselves at the end of the year. Colorado State started way too cold to even make a case for themselves by the end of the year. I think Utah State's a good team, though. I really do like this team when I watch them. They're a good team. They're a really fun offensive team. And Villanova, like they got a couple good guards, but they just haven't impressed me. Their only quality win this year is Wisconsin. That's really it. Um, I just I kind of like Utah State. I'm a little worried because the Mountain West always disappoints in the tournament, and the Mountain West was bad this year. But maybe Utah State can be, the lone bright spot of this conference and get a win.
This is a weird one because I don't know too much about Utah State, but Nova this year, there's parts of the season where it seemed like they just didn't even want to be in the tournament. I watched a few Nova games, just some very uninspired basketball. When you watch this group, sometimes cleaned it up towards the end, had a few decent wins, but I'm kind of torn here. I would like to take Villanova losing, but I'll defer to you two if you feel strongly one way
I
or
think
another.
I think I'm buying the Utah State hype and the East Coast to West Coast here too. Not I
Yeah.
don't know, we haven't seen it a lot for Villanova, but Utah
It's
State
not
not as much of a trip. We'll take it. We'll roll with the Aggies.
I mean, neither of these teams are beating Arizona, so I think we're good.
true. Don't
Yes.
overthink it.
Arizona, yeah, it's gonna, yeah, hard pressed.
Is this
Wisconsin
the
High Point.
sexiest 512?
This, yeah, it's
So
gotta be right.
I was very high on High Point coming into the tournament. I really love this team. They're a fun team. They can score. They have a kid who's only taken 4 2-point attempts this year, and everything
Jesus.
else has been 3-point attempts. They can shoot. They play fast. They're great. I
Wisconsin has
just
some
hate
great
this.
wins.
I hate this matchup. I hate this matchup for High Point. I wanted to pick High Point as that trendy double-digit team, right? That could get a couple wins. Wisconsin's backcourt of Blackwell and Boyd. I don't know if there's a better backcourt in college basketball besides maybe Barry's and Bradley for Arizona. They are so good. Both of them could take over whenever they need. And High Point, the biggest thing with High Point is they're just not a very good defensive team. So they're going to let you score. Wisconsin's got a little bit of size on them down low. Wisconsin, to me, I think this is the toughest region. I think Arizona's region is the toughest region in terms of like the front half of it. I think the bottom half isn't as strong, but the front half overall, it's a tough region. Wisconsin, I could have penciled to the Final Four if they had the right path. I love this Badgers team. And I think they're playing their best basketball at this point in the season, which is something you need to do. I think High Point's a trendy upset pick. You see the 30-4 record. You see the 90 points a game. You see how many guys are averaging double digits on this team. You see how they shoot the three. I can't do it to Wisconsin, man. I can't do it. I just can't.
It seems like this is the most popular, but Wisconsin has been impressive, and I think they beat Michigan, and then their other game against Michigan was within 3 points. I want to say,
They beat Michigan, Illinois, and Purdue all on the road.
yeah, that's
It's pretty good.
That's pretty
That's
impressive.
pretty good.
like you said, one of the best backcourts in the country here too. Yeah, I think a lot of the people like this one just for the same reasons that you laid out, Steve, with High Point.
It's a
I
great
think
team.
right? And then people look at the 512 and it's like, oh, there's always a 12, and I just don't know. I think this is the sexy pick. I don't know if it's the right one though. I lean Wisconsin here.
Yeah, I think because everybody else is picking it, also that we should just avoid the sexy 12-5 pick. But yeah, this is, it seems like a tough draw, and you're mentioning the guards. I mean, you know how big guard play obviously is in this tournament specifically, but this Wisconsin team has, again, like a high ceiling to it. So I'm hard pressed to go against them either. So we'll roll with the Badgers here. Arkansas and Hawaii out
So
west.
another team I really liked coming in was Hawaii. They gave me almost Florida Gulf Coast vibes when they have the
Oh.
Dunk City there, where they're just
Oh,
a,
yeah.
a physical team. They love to
What a
drive.
time.
They're super athletic. They play such good defense. And now they got to somehow find a way to stop Darius Acuff and
Yeah.
Arkansas, who might be the most trendy pick right now. Everyone watched what he did in the SEC tournament. Everyone watched what he did in the SEC championship. He's flying up NBA mock drafts. He might be one of the best guards in college basketball we've seen in a long time. And he's like a Russell Westbrook, but more efficient, which is crazy, with a really good outside shot. People are comparing him to Anthony Edwards, even though he's a
what's
point
crazy?
guard.
I feel like he's been compared to like every Hall of Fame guard that you
Dude,
could think of, like over the last 2
insane.
weeks. I've heard
People-
Kyrie, I've heard Darren
Yup.
Williams,
Yup.
like
People
it's
love him.
Allen Iverson, like it's crazy, man.
People
he's super
love him.
talented.
And I love him too. And I think this Arkansas team, I love this team as well. This is another team that I wanted to pencil in to the Final Four if the road was right for them. And of course, you got 3 of my favorite teams in college basketball this year that are potential to play A in the second round, B in the Sweet 16. I want to pick Hawaii because the reason is when everyone gets hyped up on a player or a team, that team just kind of disappoints. We think about that year that we got screwed on Kentucky guys, right? When they were coming to the tournament red hot. You had a year where Iowa State came in red hot. You guys remember the Arizona when they lost to Princeton, when they came in red hot and everyone was talking about them? And I say this all the time. Just because you have a great pro player doesn't mean that your team is going to win a championship or make a deep run. We've seen so many, incredible pros fall short in March Madness. Now we've also seen some carry their team to deep runs. I'm going to take Arkansas here because I want Wisconsin versus Arkansas, but I would not be shocked if Hawaii shocked the world because everybody's on Arkansas right now. And Hawaii kind of makes a name for themselves because not many people watch Hawaii. They're tipping most of their games at 11:30 p.m. Like not many people are watching Hawaii, and they give me shades of that Florida Gulf Coast Dunk City team, man, built on defense and athleticism. But man, how do you pick against Darius Acuff? How do you do it?
I don't think we can.
Dunny muted again.
I know Dunny the mute monster
today.
I think we got to roll with the hot hand here.
I think we do.
I wasn't disagreeing when I was muted. Let's just say that. We got to see as much Acuff as we can in this tournament.
I agree.
We got a game that's starting up later tonight.
Yes,
Texas and NC State. Do you think either of those teams can beat BYU?
I mean, I think anybody can beat BYU because I just don't know what I'm going to see from BYU. They can't play a lick of defense. After Dybonsa and Wright, there's not much there in terms of consistency. Obviously, losing Saunders for the year has crushed them, but they've gotten better the past couple games. They looked all right against Houston in the Big 12 tournament. They actually played defense against West Virginia. Take that for what you will. West Virginia's not very good offensively. But you're talking about Acuff and the guy we don't want to doubt. I don't want to doubt Mr. H.A. Dybonsa. This is a guy who go for 35, 10, and 10 in this game, and I wouldn't be shocked. Both Texas and NC State don't play a lick of defense, so I don't care who wins this game. Give me BYU easy.
I like it. For just to have Dybonsa in the tournament as long as possible, I think we have to do this. Donnie, what were you going to say?
Oh, well, yeah. For my pick, I'm closing my eyes and taking BYU because there's no way. If I said that about Acuff, I'm doing the same thing with Dybonsa. I need to see him as long as I can in this tournament. But what I was going to say is, have you guys seen what Barstool Big Cat's rollover over is? He's taking the over in this NC game
State,
tonight
right?
to see who plays BYU, and then he's immediately rolling over that into the BYU game, whoever they end up playing, and taking that over as well.
The total in the one tonight's 158.5. That is a high over.
Yeah.
And the BYU one might be even higher. We might see like a 162.
A lot of offense.
A lot of offense. But I mean, you look at this region, the players in this region, man. So many exciting players. Just go to your television and watch these players. I love this West region so much. But you're right. I'm not picking against my guy, AJ. Come on now.
No.
All right, we got to keep it rolling then. Got to keep them rolling in there. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State. in
I've been hearing
Portland.
people are taking Gonzaga as a sleeper pick to win this whole tournament here, guys. So
So they might get their second best player Huff back for the tournament. I don't know if he'll play the first weekend, but him back will change their team, I think, drastically if they get Braden Huff back. I think they just roll Kennesaw. I
yeah,
don't think we need
okay.
to stay on this too long. Gonzaga, what do they love to do? At the start of the season, they love to beat bad teams. But they did lose to Portland this year. Let's not forget,
Oh,
Gonzaga
and
lost as like a
Portland too.
20-point favorite on the road to Portland. I watched that game and wanted to rip the hair out of my head as I took Gonzaga money line live, as I took them spread live, and they couldn't do a thing against Portland. But Kennesaw's whatever. They're fine. I think they were the 6th seed in their
They
conference as
were.
well.
They
A
were.
lot
Yeah.
of lower seeds won their conferences this year, which doesn't bode well too much when you come to March. Give me Gonzaga. I think this is an absolute blowout.
I don't know. Maybe Portland could be cursed for them, but
Maybe.
we'll hold it off. All right. This is something that I don't understand here. Miami, Missouri.
Yeah.
The 10 seed Missouri gets to play this game in St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why does the 10 seed get a home weekend?
That's a great question. Why is Missouri not a last four in team? That's another great question. Missouri, they haven't had their two best players for the majority of the year, and so like when they're fully healthy, I guess they're better than a last four in. But I don't care. I really don't care. I get it's in Missouri. I've heard everybody talk about that, Jake. I think Miami's a better team. I'm just going to take Miami. Miami loves
I
close
like
games
it.
too. They love close games. Every game Miami's won has been by like 3 points. But I'm taking Miami. I think Miami's a better team than Missouri. I don't care. I'm just going to take them.
this game is projected to be that close too, so that might bode well for them because this is a 1.5 point spread. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm cool with rolling Miami here.
Yeah, I think that sports, if there's anything right in the world of sports, Missouri can't win that game. That's just
Yeah.
how I feel. That's just crazy. If they get to go into a round of 32 matchup with who I'm assuming we're going with Purdue on the 2 line, which Steve, I didn't think Purdue was going to make it up to the 2 line during the season. So kudos to them for the way they
I
pulled
think
this
they
off.
showed a lot in the Big Ten tournament.
They
get the
did.
2. I hate Purdue. I think I've told you guys this. They
Oh, yeah.
burned me in the past. They burned me year after year. I just don't like their team. They're one of the most experienced teams. So many seniors here. They were actually, if you guys remember, they were preseason #1 overall team. I don't know if
I
people
don't remember that
remember
actually.
that.
Yeah, that's
Purdue was
crazy.
the preseason #1 overall team. I would love if Queens beat them, but I don't think Queens.
Queens allowing 83 points per game
yeah.
probably doesn't bode well against.
This is a sneaky over,
Purdue.
though. Sneaky over. 'Cause
Yeah.
Queens can score.
And
Queens can score, and it's
Braden
their.
Smith was playing like a NBA point guard on Sunday as
Yes,
well.
he was. Yes, he was.
Against Michigan because
Yeah.
I had Michigan on the spread in that game, and this man was pissing me off. So I think Purdue's for sure rolling here.
Now, I will say, I will say, if Purdue gets down early, I saw them lose to FDU when FDU was a much worse team.
True.
If you don't think that in their first ever tournament, just freshly new D1 school, first ever tournament, you don't think that I'm wasting $10 on a Queens College money line? If they're in this game by halftime, then you don't know me. Then you just don't know me. But yes, but Purdue is the pick.
This is how to make some of those 2-15 matchups fun, folks. You gotta if you think it might be a blowout, think again. Check in at halftime if it's close. You gotta sprinkle the money line.
I love it. I love where your guys' heads are at heading into this. It's in the right place. That's all I'll say. But what about this matchup, guys? Another great 4-5. Obviously,
Talk
here.
about guard play, man.
Oh,
Talk about guard play.
Oh
Yeah.
my Lord. Acuff, Blackwell, Boyd all on the court at the same time. I mean, come on now. I'm taking Wisconsin because I feel like everyone's on Arkansas right now. I've seen people have Arkansas over Arizona. I've seen people have Arkansas in the Final Four. And I can't, deny what my eyes tell me. And I love both these teams, right? I told you guys that. These were two teams that I wanted a path where I could talk myself into a Final Four for either of them. And I think this region's absolutely brutal. This draw's crazy that this is a round 2 matchup. but I'm taking Wisconsin. I'm taking Wisconsin. I love both these teams. I wouldn't be mad either way. I think either of these teams will give Arizona an absolute war. But everybody, guys, everyone's on Arkansas. Everyone wants the SEC championship, the SEC tourney. The guy who's been talked about the most, leading up to the tourney player-wise is Acuff, if I'm being not completely honest. It's not Boozer, right? It's not Dybonsa. It's Darius Acuff. Well deserved too. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be talked about that way, but everyone's talking about him. I'm going to take Wisconsin here. I do think Wisconsin gets it done. I'll take Blackwell and Boyd and take my chances really against anybody, man. I love this Wisconsin team.
Yeah.
Dunny seems shocked by that.
I know he loves Acuff. He loves Acuff. I get it. I get it. I do too.
I'm fine with that though, because I don't hate the process here where Acuff, sure, he'll probably be, a top 5 pick, maybe even higher than that at this point in the NBA draft. But you got 2 elite guards on the other side, and sometimes 2 is better than 1. 4 or 5 wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. Wisconsin, I think, has been playing their best basketball as of late as well. So I'm here for it. I'll defer here, and we can go Badgers. Badgers love playing in March, man. Badgers have had some pretty storied tournaments in our lifetime. So
I like it. I like fading the team that's hot and winning the conference tournament and gets seeded up high and everybody's picking. It usually works out well when you fade those teams. So in Wisconsin, yeah, let's just roll with it. That'll be such an awesome game to get. I believe that would be Saturday. Yeah. So. BYU Gonzaga, can Dybonsa, how far can he push it? That's really what we're doing here. He could.
Mean, if there's one player who can, it's Dybonsa. Like I said, I don't know if Huff will be back in the first weekend, which it was big for Gonzaga. If he's back, it's going to be much harder. It's a good Gonzaga team, and like I said, BYU they've looked better. I think they had to really adjust to Richie Saunders being out. In the past couple games, even in the Big 12 tournament, they looked better. But, man, some of those games, they just can't stop anybody. If you can't stop a Gonzaga team, you're going to be in real, real trouble. But can we really pick Acuff and Dybonsa to leave after one round? I can't do that. Like, my heart can't do that. I would love to see both these guys play as long as they get. If it was up to me, Arkansas, BYU, Elite Eight for the Final Four. Acuff versus Dybonsa. Oh, my gosh. Get the large movie theater popcorn for that one. But I have BYU in my bracket. I'll be honest. In my bracket, I have BYU. It's a little bit of bias in there. There's a little sprinkle of bias. So I'll let you two decide.
I mean, you know who I have in my bracket.
Yeah, I mean, same thing.
I know who you guys have.
I got the kid from Boston advancing here. I mean, is there a possibility that there's another level to this and he's just the most feared man in the tournament? I'm not talking Final Four or anything like that, but
if anyone can do it, he can, right?
Right.
I'm just saying,
like, he is a phenom. We know that.
If we have Purdue beat Miami, I'm not picking Purdue again.
Pick Miami. Pick Miami then. Pick Miami then. I hate Purdue. Get them out of here.
Let's just get them out of here. Yeah. See you later, Purdue.
I'm so done with Purdue. I'm so tired of watching
BYU to an Elite Eight.
I think we are.
I think we have to at this point, bro. I think we have to. Which, in my bracket, I might have done the same.
Oh, shit.
Which is terrifying because that team can't play defense.
Who needs defense? I think we got to do it. This is smart. Arizona, Wisconsin. As much as we love this Wisconsin team, I can't do. I got Arizona.
No, this is where it stops.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think Arizona could win these 2 games to go to the Final Four by like 50 points total.
Arizona's so deep, man. They're so deep. They have 4 freshmen, but they also have I think like 3 seniors and a junior.
Physical as hell too.
The only thing
every game I think, oh, that's their best player. Oh, that's their best player. Mm-hmm. Like every time I've watched them, it's somebody else. It looks like the best on the floor for them. It's crazy.
The only thing they really can't do is shoot the 3 ball, which is a little scary. If we're going back, not the BYU Arizona matchup, but if we're going back to Wisconsin and you have Boyd and Blackwell going going crazy, especially from outside, which we saw them do against Michigan twice this year, which we've seen them do against Illinois. I mean, the way they won against Illinois was they just went nuts from outside the arc. That's the only red flag from Arizona, but they're the most complete team in the tournament, in my opinion. The three scare me a little bit, but if they get by Wisconsin, they'll get right by BYU. BYU can't stop this team. They can't stop this team. That Bonza could go for 50 and they could still lose by 20. BYU can't stop this Arizona team.
Yeah, we just got to roll with the Wildcats, right, Dunny?
Yes.
All right. I like it. I think that's the proper amount of chaos.
2-1 seeds so far, gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like Purdue is that. Like, I don't know if Miami beats them, but I could see them slip. They just don't feel like a 2 seed to me. It didn't really feel like it all year.
Yeah.
So it was kind of shocking to see them end up there. South region, Florida, and it was just move on with Florida.
Prairie View or Lehigh. You got to at least say the names. If they lose by 40, you got to know which one's losing by 40.
Lehigh. I think Lehigh. Just shout out CJ McCollum.
Fair enough.
Talk about a 1 seed that can't shoot the 3 balls super well. Florida. I mean, it won't matter in this matchup, but something to keep in mind.
And then we have my least favorite game of the tournament, Clemson versus Iowa. 2 teams that want as few of possessions in a game as possible.
It just looks boring.
It is just a slugfest. I didn't like Drake. I didn't like Bennett Sturts at Drake. I don't like Bennett Sturts at Iowa. He's a good player. I don't like him. Clemson too. Just I watched them. I'm not impressed. I don't like either of these teams. So just pick one of them and get over with it.
The over/under said 128.5.
28, dude.
Jeez.
Oh, Dunny, it could go well under too. This could be
That's
a 50-48 game. It's disgusting.
I did have to look back. I have Iowa in my bracket. For some reason, I can't ever get behind Clemson being a basketball school. For some reason, I just look at the logo and I'm like, that's football.
This feels like a late December bowl game between like that is what this looks like to me.
And it would still go under if it was.
And that would go under too. I'll go with Iowa as well.
Yeah. All right.
We'll go Florida, Iowa there. McNeese, they're back.
Yeah.
Amir Khan's back.
They are back.
Now Vandy.
No, he transferred, right?
He came back though.
He came back again.
And now everyone hates him.
Yeah, as you should. McNeese. I'm so out. I'm so out on McNeese. That was so overplayed.
Should we put Vandy just for bringing Amir Khan back?
Yeah,
Vandy's sick, dude.
They are sick.
They got some swagger to them.
Yeah, they do.
We're rolling with the
This
Commodores.
region might be a little easier than we thought.
Does Troy have a chance? Nebraska's been a fun team all year to watch, a fun story to watch here. They have not. When's the last time it's been a long time since they've won a tournament game? I can't remember exactly how long, but it's their best chance in a long time. 20-0 started the season.
I know. And since then, they haven't really even looked like a team that belongs in the tournament. If you talk about eye test, the last month has not been kind to Nebraska. I actually like Troy here. I think Troy is a team that's going to get a lot of rebounds, play really physical, get extra possessions. And I think Troy could stay in this game. And if you could stay in this game, that's all that matters at that point. Troy gets better as games go on too, as we watched them right in the Sun Belt at the end of the year. They just are such a better team in the second half. Nebraska just doesn't look like the same team that started the way they did. So I'm taking Troy. They're 12.5-point dogs, so I wouldn't be shocked if they lose this game. But you got to have a fun upset every now and then. I think Troy is the direction I'm going here.
All right, I could do it. We haven't had too many of these crazy upsets, so I'm here for it, man.
I'm here for it.
Troy upset.
Let's do it. Let's roll it.
Nebraska had some impressive wins, but they all were like I think they beat Wisconsin, but that was before Wisconsin really turned it on.
Yeah.
I think that might have been like December or January, it said. So here for it, man.
VCU, North Carolina. In South Carolina. This is a very
The only reason I was
Fun
hesitant to
game.
do the Troy pick is because, and this pains me to say, I've been a North Carolina guy since I was a little kid. I kind of like VCU, man.
I mean, they don't have Caleb Wilson, right? It's a different
Yeah.
team without
Exactly.
Caleb Wilson. You're
Completely
taking a
different
top
squad.
5, NBA draft pick off their roster. And North Carolina's been a little inconsistent since then. Their offense has been very inconsistent. I also like VCU here, too. This is a team that if they didn't win their conference, I thought they were potentially going to get in that large. Now, the committee said they weren't. They were going to be one of the first teams left out. But I like VCU, Dunny. I know you love the A10, so I know we got to rep the A10 a little bit. But this VCU team's good. It's a good basketball team. They don't have any huge wins on their resume, but they're good. Yeah, it's a good team, dude.
So I took the over in that Dayton VCU game. Did not hit. But the biggest thing that stood out to me was VCU had Dayton scared in that first half. They could not do anything. They could not get into their sets. Even when they did, it was a rush shot or it was a forced three. They were closing out so hard they didn't even want to take threes on some possessions. VCU is physical. They can score. I like them here, man. I think
I'm with you.
This is one of my favorite upsets. Actually,
I am with you.
Do it. I think with the injury, and VCU's been a strong team this year, throughout the year. It's a perfect ripe spot for an upset, which would mean VCU would have a win over Duke and North Carolina from the 11th seed in the tournament, which is a pretty crazy stat to have. I was at that Duke VCU game in Buffalo, the Eric Maynor shot, one of the craziest. I mean, that's what you ask for, honestly, if you're going to one of those games. Penn making its way on one of those teams. They were the 3 seed or 4 seed, right, in the Ivy League there, and they get it done in overtime, and they get Illinois for their troubles in South Carolina.
Their guy TJ Power, I think, had 44 against Yale in the championship, which is crazy.
People are calling him Golke.
Yeah, I know it's – well, he's a lot bigger than Golke too, though. Yeah. This guy gets boards as well. He's a big dude. I know the Ivy's always trendy come March Madness, especially when you watch it on Championship Sunday. It's the first game on, and you see some dude drop 44 from the Ivy, just can't miss from outside. I love this Illinois team, guys. This Illinois team's deep. This Illinois team is the biggest team in the country. Wagler is another guy who's a potential lottery pick, or will be a lottery pick, potential probably top 6 pick. They got Peja's son. Right. They got a couple brothers, big brothers, 7-footers who could shoot from the outside. Everyone in Illinois could shoot from the outside. They can all get boards. I really, really, really like this Illinois team, so I can't see them losing to Penn.
Yeah, 24.5 point spread here.
Yeah. That'd be the biggest upset in tournament history, spread-wise, if it happened.
So yeah, let's go Illinois.
Yeah,
so let's not
going
overcomplicate things.
I want to go with Illinois because I have a birthday party Saturday night full of Illinois grads, and it would be way more fun if I was watching that game Saturday night out there. It happened last year too. It was a great time. So I'm cheering for my own night. I think they played Texas last year, right? And it was just all the orange on the screen. So that would be much better if it was VCU, or it would look great if it was North Carolina too, aesthetically. St. Mary's, Texas A&M, 7-10 matchup. Steve, why the disgust? Who does the disgust for in this matchup? I'm so done
with St. Mary's. I can't watch St. Mary's play. I hate the style. It's probably a good matchup for them against Texas A&M because Texas A&M is a good offensive team, but St. Mary's defense could disrupt them a little bit. I'm just taking Texas A&M. I just can't pick St. Mary's. I can't watch this team play basketball.
Just blindly taking A&M.
Yep.
I don't have a strong thought on either of these teams here, Jake. So if you want to be the deciding factor, or we can just roll A&M and keep moving.
I'm rolling with Steve Spite again. He's always held for St. Mary's. Yeah, so sometimes that's how I go with my bracket. Is sometimes if I'm feeling spiteful, that's because I'd rather go down swinging. I think that's a great motto to have in life. Stick to your guns there. So we'll roll with that. Houston, we're just gonna keep rolling with Houston, right? No, I know
Yeah.
Idaho.
They had a little hiccup, in the season, but I think they're back. I know there's a lot of people who are down on Houston now because I think they watched the hiccup. I think it's the most talented team that Samson's had for these recent tournament runs at Houston. And Idaho, once again, 7 seed in the Big Sky. I mean, it's crazy that these high seeds in their conference tournaments are winning and getting through. Houston, this feels like a Houston 80-30 win. What's Idaho gonna do? People are like, oh, Houston's defense just isn't the same. I'm like, dude, it was like 6th in the country. Like, we're still talking about a team that gets as many offensive boards as anyone. Great guards. They just stop it. Stop doubting Houston.
I also watched that full game, the loss to Arizona on Saturday, and I did not come out of that game like feeling any worse about Houston.
No,
like, that was just a incredible game.
What a game!
2 great teams.
Yep, I agree.
Cougars roll.
Yep,
could be the national championship.
Just pick Florida and move on to the next game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So we got Florida. We'll keep it rolling. Vandy
if
too.
Iowa beats Florida,
I want
take
Vandy.
Take Vandy.
I want. Yeah, I think we need Vandy.
We want the match. We want the
Troy,
rematch, right? We want the third matchup between these two.
I think this is pretty easy. I think VCU, I think, could mess around with Illinois in the game because Illinois has weird games this year. They got some variance to them, but I think I like Illinois.
I like Illinois as well.
I like Illinois strictly, well, not strictly, but the size factor that Steve mentioned. That is what Dayton was lacking on Sunday. If Illinois can kind of figure out that point, I think they fare well against VCU.
A&M Houston.
I like Houston here. Yeah. I like Houston here. A&M's, like I said, decent offensive team, but they're going to let Houston kind of get what they want. A&M doesn't really stop anybody. Houston will probably cause them a little bit of fits on defense.
All right, Vandy and Florida. We just saw it. What do we think?
I'm taking Florida in the rubber match. The only thing that concerns me about Florida is the guards, Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland, are just very inconsistent from 3. And we saw, I don't know if you guys watched the SEC semifinal game, but the Florida just couldn't hit any outside shots, but they were still getting all the offensive rebounds. They still had advantage in the foul game. Like, they were turning the ball over like crazy, and they couldn't hit outside shots. And I think that's why Vandy kind of ran away with it. It's going to be hard to replicate that against Florida. I do have a concern for the Gators this year, though. The outside shooting of the guards is very concerning. It's not the Walter Clayton takeover show anymore. No. But they got so much size, best rebounding team in the country. And I always like a really good team in a rematch to a team that just kicked them in the mouth. And Vandy just kicked them in the mouth. You don't think Florida's going to remember that game, how that game went when they play, about 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later from that game? I think they'll remember, so I'll take Florida.
Let's do it.
All right, let's roll. That'll be a really fun Sweet 16 match if we do get back to there. Illinois, Houston. I think I do like Houston here. I'm also willing to be convinced. Okay.
I'm also on Houston. I really like both these teams. Like I said, a lot of the teams I really like just seems like they're matching up in the Sweet 16 this year, which is tough for me. But I think Houston's the type of team that could cause Illinois some fits.
Right, it's Illinois, right? It's like a styles make fights thing, and like Illinois playing a Houston style game just doesn't feel good.
Right. Illinois is big, like I said, biggest team in the country, but I think Houston's more physical, and Illinois, they got a lot. They got a lot of Europeans on their team.
I was going to say Illinois
like the finesse. They like the shooting
per capita, for sure.
Right. So I'll take Houston. I like the matchup more. Also, too, guys, Sweet 16 and Elite 8 for this region is in Houston. Yes. So we got to take that in mind. This is a home court. This is a home advantage for Houston. And if you're talking about any team of the past 5 years that has probably had the biggest home court advantage, you're thinking Kansas, you're thinking Houston. And Houston at home, man, I know it's not going to be their court, but in Houston with that crowd, I'll take my chances.
It's very clear. Like, I know they obviously they released the seeds, but that is like we definitely were debating between Houston and Florida all day for the last 1 seed. So here's how we decided to to do it in the end, right? Like here's our compromise. Dunny, I can still be convinced, but I am leading Houston. Do you feel any certain type of way?
Let's go with the Cougars, man.
All right. So Houston, Florida, in Houston to go to the Final Four.
This comes down to the guard play advantage of Houston for me. Sharp, Flemings. I'll take it over Fland and Lee any day of the week. I know Florida's got size, but we have seen previous tournaments with bigger teams than Houston just get bullied by Houston's physicalness and offensive rebounding. Florida's #1 rebounding team in the country, but now you're playing Houston that's going to want the ball more than you do on every single shot attempt. I never like picking against the Houston teams come tournament time. He just has them ready to go. And it's just another one where I just like the matchup. I think Houston's just a more tougher team than Florida. You think Houston wants to take out the defending champs? Absolutely. So give me Houston in a technical home game against Florida to get to a Final Four. Another back-to-back Final Fours for Houston.
I think to save us from quickly throwing 3 1 seeds into the Final Four, I could see Calvin Sampson on the sideline with a smirk at the end of this game, and the Houston Cougars win by 2 here or something. I'm with you. I think we go Houston. I love chomping it up. I love chomping it up all last year, but like you said, there's no Walter Clayton Jr. to save the day for this Florida team. So unless they out rebound this Houston team by like 20 or something, I could see Houston stealing it.
Brings back a lot of those players who had impacts in their run last year. Who'd they lose to, Dunny? You don't think they're thinking about that? You don't think they're thinking about last year, the championship? I'll take Houston. Like I said,
I agree.
It helps too that it's in Houston.
I agree. That is a difference maker, but it does feel like that this is what this Houston team does. Again, another styles make fight things. Like I can see Houston just dragging Florida into that fight and getting out of it. So, and it does save us, Dunny, from the 4 #1 seeds. All right, we got 1 region left, and we're on to the Final Four. Michigan.
Yep, Michigan over whoever's winning.
Whoever's playing right now. Yeah.
Oh, Howard up 11 on UMBC.
Oh, early. St. Louis and Georgia.
You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in this St. Louis team that was, pretty much adopted from the Indiana State team that people wanted to make the tournament, didn't end up making the tournament that year. St. Louis is fun. Georgia also fun. One of the most, fun offenses in the SEC. Would you know what the total is? Does it show it on here? I'm assuming it's got to be over 160. Like these are
169.
Oh my God. That should tell you all you need to know about this game. This is part of the late night game in Buffalo, which right now I got the early session tickets to Thursday. I'm highly considering going to the late night as well, because this is going to be such a fun game to watch. I'll take St. Louis, but true coin flip game to me. I think one of the most exciting first round matchups. We're looking at like a 95-92 type game here.
Yeah, I got to roll with the Billikens off principle. So
I'm cool with the Billikens, man.
A10 proud. Not anymore as much, Dunny, but you still have the pride.
Yeah, still happy for him.
Hey, multi-bid conference this year, Dunny.
We're getting to it right now. We're getting to another multi-bid conference. Not now in Dunny's conference. The Akron Zips.
Little MAC
champions.
MAC, baby.
Taking on Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
It's going to be a fun game.
Losing JT Toppin for the year is the biggest loss of any team in the tournament this year. I mean, they could beat anybody with the full healthy roster. They have beaten anyone. I mean, look at Texas Tech's wins. They speak for themselves. But losing JT Toppin's tough. Love Christian Anderson. He's someone who could take over this game. but I refuse to pick Akron. As a UB fan, as Akron, who's tormented me my college years and the years after, I refuse to pick Akron. So I'm on Texas Tech, but I've seen the trends everywhere. And if you ask me what's the most likely 12-5, it's probably Akron over Texas Tech.
That's what I thought here.
I won't do it. I won't do it. I refuse. But if you two both pick Akron, I'll turn.
This bracket is driven off of spite, and if you think I'm picking the Akron Zips, who beat Michael
I was gonna
three
say.
times and in the conference tournament,
I actually picked Texas Tech in my bracket for both of you guys.
Thank you,
Dunny. You're a good man, Dunny. You're a good man.
I was like, this Akron team has too much stink on it, man. I can't pick.
Yeah, get them out of here. It does make sense to pick them, but I just can't do it. I can't do it. And that means we have to pick Alabama because we need some options here, I feel like. Can't go crazy.
Another game where I think this could be a very, very high scoring. Hofstra can score.
159 point and a half.
Guards, experienced guards. Bama have a little controversy with a little
That's
controversy
true.
This week.
Yeah, Aiden Holloway.
Aiden Holloway. I think he'll still play. Looks like he was. I guess he didn't get enough NIL money. Looks like he was trying to deal a little bit. But Bama's a more talented team. They're really, really good. Bama's a really, really good team this year. And if you think I'm picking against my guy Nate Oates, just like how I wasn't picking Akron, you think I'm gonna pick against Oates in the first round? Oates, who got UB to the tournament a couple times, got UB over Arizona. You think I'm gonna forget that?
No.
Bama.
I've been watching this Bama team all year. They're up there with Duke for most watched games for me, I would say. Fun as hell. LeBaron Filan Jr. is one of the best names in the tournament, one of the best players in the tournament. I just don't know what's going on with Aiden Holloway, bro. I just don't know how people are getting felony weed charges in 2026 , but
it's hard to do now. It's a lot harder.
That might be more difficult than averaging 17 points per game in Division I basketball.
Yep.
But yeah, if he's there, I think this is an easy Bama for me.
Yeah, I'm taking Bama as well.
I'm with you guys there. So we'll keep it moving down. Tennessee taking on either Miami of Ohio or SMU.
Shout out Miami, Ohio.
Still making it in.
31-1, undefeated regular season. I don't care who you played. You went undefeated. You deserve to be in. I'm a little upset that they got a last four in and not in the tournament. Swap them with Missouri. I would have been a little bit happier, but whatever. Shout out Miami, Ohio. SMU's fun team, but they're playing terrible. I think they've lost 5 straight coming into the tournament. They're a fun team who can score. Miami, Ohio also can score. This is going to be a really fun playing game. I know SMU is favored by 7.5, but I think Miami, Ohio makes it closer. Regardless, I don't think either team beats Tennessee. And I'm anti-Tennessee. I am anti-Tennessee, anti-Rick Barnes. I just think Tennessee's got a little too much talent.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I wasn't going to pick either of those guys to win.
Yeah, another fun team. Virginia, Wright State.
Dude, Wright State has turned into the class of the horizon.
They are every year. I feel like they're in there.
The 6th seed. It feels like every year they make the tournament. Surprised they got a 14. Virginia. I don't know. I mean, I shout out Wright State, right? The class of the horizon. They play good basketball. They're always here.
God,
but
Virginia. Virginia's that team that I just can't stand. They're just
really.
It's
new look Virginia, man. I don't know how much you've watched them this year. They're not like the Virginia of the past.
I know. I did watch it mostly this weekend. I also do like the jersey improvement. High.
Mm-hmm.
Those blue, solid blue and orange road jerseys looked really good Saturday night. So I was happy with that.
They play a lot faster now. They score a lot. Great rebounding team. It's a different look Virginia.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the turn. Maybe they'll turn me fully. Kentucky, Santa Clara. What do you got here? The Santa Clara out west there. So we got 3 teams, right? With them getting in with Gonzaga and Santa Clara and St. Mary's breaking through here. Kentucky, obviously the talent there, but it's been a weird Mark Pope era start here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I'm taking Santa Clara. Kentucky's burned me too many times in the tournament, guys.
Wow.
They've burned me too many times. Santa Clara's a fun team, experienced team, deep team. They could score. Even though they didn't beat Gonzaga, they played them competitively in both games. I'll take Santa Clara as the 10 seed. Why not?
Hell yeah. I'm fine with that. I don't have any strong opinion on Kentucky, so throw in another upset there.
Let's do it. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong team. Santa Clara on to the next round. Iowa State, Tennessee State. We just got to roll with Iowa State, right? Cyclones been awesome this year.
Yeah,
Very
they have.
deserving.
They might have the best big three in college basketball. Like just the balance between Jefferson, Lipsy, Miklovich. I mean, they might have the best three. Um, yeah, Iowa State though, another team, dude. They'll make you lose your mind seeing how they play in the tournament. They just don't perform in the tournament. But
It's true.
I can't do it. I can't pick against them.
No,
I like
not
the
here.
team too much.
Not here. Michigan and St. Louis. Michigan probably is a big, yeah, oh my gosh. I imagine
Yeah,
either Michigan or Duke has to be the top picked, right, for winning the national championship.
I think it's
Yeah.
Duke, Arizona, then
Okay,
Michigan.
then
I
Michigan.
think it's
Okay.
Duke, Arizona, then Michigan. I'll take Michigan here over St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Points, though. A lot of points probably again in that one.
St. Louis just won't be able to stop them.
No, they
And
won't.
St. Louis is going to see Mara in the paint. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to see Mara in the paint and be like,
Don't love that.
no, 7'3" shot blocker. Uh-oh.
Don't love that. Don't love
I
that.
will be taking Alabama in the Texas Tech Alabama game.
I'm taking Bama, a better
agree.
team. Like I said, I like Texas Tech a lot, but losing JT Toppin, that's a huge loss. He was first team. He was first team All American. I gotta go Bama.
Yeah, it's a tough loss.
All right, we're rolling with Bama. We got Bama and Michigan there on one part of the Sweet 16. Tennessee, Virginia, a little rivalry action in the round of 32.
Yeah, pick your poison here, right? Because I don't trust Tennessee, but I know a lot of people they have the stink on Virginia as well. I think Virginia is the better team. You talk about a guy who's kind of flying under the radar is Nate Ament for Tennessee. Another guy who's a top projected lottery pick, but not a lot of guys are talking about him. This is a chance for him to make a bigger name for himself. I'm gonna take Virginia though. Guys, I just cannot trust a Rick Barnes team in the tournament. I can't do it.
No. I also took Virginia here in my bracket.
Yeah, I can't do it with Tennessee either. It's too bad because I will be rooting for them. I don't know why I pull for Tennessee teams, but this is not going to happen. Iowa State rolling through Santa Clara. I think so.
Yeah, I think you gotta.
I think so. Michigan and Alabama. Dunny, I feel like you've been very adamant about Bama. Are you willing to pick them against the Wolverines here?
I will say, man, I struggle with this one. I think it's Michigan, but I think Bama gets hot at the right time in this game, and I think they could do it. But I'm going to defer to you guys because this one I struggled with immensely. I think I ended up taking Michigan in my bracket. I forget this one. I know I had this one. I know I stared at it for like 15 minutes earlier. Where are you guys at here?
Michigan, I think, is the best team in the tournament. I think they're the most balanced team. I know they lost Kaysen, but I still think, they have the depth. Roddy Gale's going to play a little bit more minutes. I really like this Michigan team, and sometimes I like to see one of those top seeds kind of get a little wake-up call. Florida got it when Vandy beat them up a little bit. Michigan got it against Purdue in the championship game. I think if there's one team you can pick to kind of bounce back and make a deep turning run, it is going to be this Michigan Wolverines team. I think they just have too much for Alabama, and I think Michigan could force Bama into a bunch of turnovers. And Michigan's a one team I think they could get, the rebounds with Bama. And we haven't even mentioned his name yet, and I feel awful, but Yaxel Lendeborg might be one of the best players in the country.
Yeah.
You saw his buzzer beater against Wisconsin. Yaxel Lendeborg is is just he's so complete. He's kind of like Jefferson on Iowa State, but just an improved version, in my opinion. Experience too. Michigan has so much size at really every position. I'll take Michigan here. They've passed the
Lendenborg
eye
looks like a
test all year long.
linebacker out there.
Yeah,
He
does.
does. He
Yeah,
does. But he can do everything, man. He might look
Yeah.
like a linebacker, but he can do everything. He can play like a guard if he wants. He
Yeah,
can play
he's a
like a big
playmaker.
man if he wants. So yeah, take Michigan.
That's where I'm leaning as well. I'm going with the Wolverines
Yeah.
here. So we got them into
That's probably
the
the right choice.
Elite Eight. It will be a fun, another styles thing where if Bama can keep it up pace and play where they want them to, they can stay in that game. But if, as Steve was saying, if they start making the turnovers and things that's honestly hurt the Alabama Nate Oates teams for years, then it's going to be a tough sledding. Virginia, Iowa State. I'm leaning Iowa State here. How strongly do you feel about Virginia, Steve?
I'm leaning Iowa State as well. They scare me come tournament time, but they're a really talented team. Like I said, I love their big three. Jefferson is such a good player. Yeah, I gotta take Iowa State. I gotta do it.
All right, we're all aligned there then. So are we? Is it a 2 or a 1? Do we have 2 2s and 2 1s, or 3 1s and 1 2? Michigan, Iowa State.
I'll let you
in
guys
Chicago.
decide on this one, because I've told you my thoughts on Michigan the past couple of weeks. I've been very open about that. Michigan is one of my favorite teams in the country, but I understand people who are taking Iowa State as well. Iowa State's a very, very, very good team. Like I said, I think maybe the best big three in college basketball. So I'll let you guys choose.
This is going to be it's in at United Center in Chicago. 2 big alum bases here, so it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. There's no favoritism like we had earlier with Houston, and it'll probably, it might be 60-40 Michigan just because it's a bigger alumni base, but it's going to be a raucous crowd. I really love this Michigan team, and I think I'm leaning towards Michigan here, even if it's the chalky way we end up going into here. It's just this is one of the tougher ones that I've looked at across the board, because that, like, you made your points about the Iowa State team. I feel the same about how good they can be. Michigan's just so complete. I just have a hard time seeing them lose before the Final Four.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I was gonna, if Jake was also kind of on the fence, I was gonna ask you, Steve, would you have Michigan winning it all if they did advance here?
I in my bracket right now, I do have Michigan winning it all.
Okay.
That's
I
how
think
I've
we should have
felt
them
kind of the
advance,
past month, and I don't want the conference championship to change my opinion on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, we got a Final Four: Duke, Houston, Arizona, Michigan. Honestly, I think this is where I might end up too on my own, unless I pick like St. John's over Duke or something like that, like just Duke losing somewhere. But I don't know. This feels right to me. What we're looking at here. This is the 4 best teams in college basketball. Which one should we start with? Let's start with Duke and Houston. What do we think, gentlemen?
I mean, if we get this Final Four, first off, we should be grateful. Secondly, I mean, these are both toss-ups in my opinion. It's really, can Duke overcome, with no Caleb Foster? Houston, I really like Houston this year. I was a little scared from their, 3-game skid where they lost to 3 really good teams, but their offense just looked lost in there. Duke's defense, I don't know if you guys remember, neutral court game against Michigan caused them fits too. Duke's defense is really good. I have Houston in my bracket, but I'm fine going Duke this way as well.
I think I'm leaning towards Duke.
This is another game where if I close my eyes, I can imagine Kelvin Sampson smirking on the sideline.
I know.
but
Duke just feels like they can play the way you want.
Right.
It's a talent thing, and they're going to be more talented than Houston in this game for sure.
Yeah, I think I lean Duke. Again, It's tough. I think I lean Duke. There's no chance Caleb Foster comes back in the tournament, right?
Probably not. No, I
No,
don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
I've
I think
seen
he's
some
confirmed
stuff.
out.
I just didn't know if it was possible, because if that's the case too, like if Duke lasts this long and they're getting healthier as the tournament goes on, that's
Right.
even bigger reason for that to take them. But I'm fine taking Duke there.
Yeah, I think. Well, it struggles with me a lot because this other side, I feel like this is what I want the national title to be, is this
Me
Arizona
too.
Michigan game. So
I know.
this is where I'm like, I don't even know. Steve said he's picking Michigan going all the way through. I also had that, was Michigan all the way through, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Arizona just
No,
wins
the
the
only,
national
like I
title.
said, red flag for Arizona is they don't shoot the three ball. They rarely shoot the three
Yeah.
ball, and they don't shoot it well when they do. And they're playing four freshmen significant minutes, which can be a little concerning, especially against a more experienced team like Michigan. But I mean, they're a damn good team. I mean, both these teams have looked so impressive from start to finish this year. So it's really at this point, whoever is hot that night. It's not like there's one advantage over the other when it comes to Arizona or Michigan.
Dunny, who have you been going with?
I believe I had Michigan. Yeah,
Dang.
no, I definitely had Michigan here in my bracket.
No, I think we got to roll with Michigan. I feel like we're not picking Duke to win the national title, so we're just
No,
picking
we're
Michigan.
just gonna roll with Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
at
right.
this
I
point.
like it. I honestly, I feel really good about this, where
Go
we're
Big
at
Blue.
here.
I mean, we got two teams that both lost a guard too for the year,
Yeah.
coming into the tournament, which is a little scary thinking about it. But
But it
yeah,
feels like we talked about that with everybody, like
yeah,
at some point. What would be our score here? Like
like a
68 to 64.
yeah, you could do that. Maybe sneak into the 70s. Duke does play a little slower, so high 60s might be our best bet.
I like it. Enter the sweepstakes. Maybe we'll win the Coors Light March Hoops Tourney Challenge sweepstakes. You never know.
Hey, maybe.
There it is.
Wow.
I
All
I
right,
don't love
fellas.
picking Michigan
Michigan.
at any case, but here we are. I think it just feels right. This is gonna be a blast though.
We should have done BYU, man.
Imagine just keep picking them all the way. Dybonsa with the greatest March Madness run of all time.
Oh man. Spiritually, that's what we're hoping for at the very least.
Hey, let's see if we can go back to back. We had Florida last year, got Michigan this year. We will see.
Michigan Duke might break some TV records for a national championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Final
That's
Four
blue
would
blood as you
shatter
can get.
records.
Yeah. That'd be nuts. We're ready. Ready for Thursday.
Lock in, baby.
Any final thoughts, guys? I feel good. I feel good about where we're at.
Feel good. This is a great time of year. If you're trying to watch at work and your boss is giving you shit, maybe grab a conference room or say you have a meeting or something and just keep watching, guys. Don't agree to stay late this week or next week. You got to get home to watch these games. So we encourage everyone to watch some basketball. Obviously, NBA playoffs right around the corner too. This is just an amazing time of year for hoops. So enjoy it.
Have a great night, folks.
Later, guys.